You know when you see a car with a ridiculously high number on the odometer and you think, wow, they got lucky? Well, today we're going to show you that getting your engine to last isn't about luck at all. It's about a series of smart, practical habits anyone can adopt.
300,000 kilometers. Just let that number sink in. For a lot of people, that feels like an impossible dream. But here's the thing. Most modern engines are totally capable of hitting that number. This isn't some fantasy. It's a very achievable goal, and we're going to walk you through exactly how to get there.
So, is that high-mileage hero you see on the road just the result of a lucky roll of the dice at the factory? Or is it the direct result of how the driver chose to treat it? As we're about to see, the answer is, overwhelmingly, that it's a choice.
All right, first things first. Before we even talk about oil types or fancy mechanics, the single biggest factor in your engine's health is what you do behind the wheel every single day. These small changes in how you drive, they produce massive results.
Think about it this way. When your engine's cold, all that crucial oil is sitting at the bottom in the oil pan. If you just jump in and rev it hard right away, it's like asking an athlete to sprint without stretching. You're causing a ton of wear on parts that aren't protected yet. This simple little process, just waiting a minute, then driving gently for a few more, gives that oil time to circulate and coat everything. It's a tiny investment of your time for a huge return on your engine's life.
So many of us think a quick trip to the store is no big deal, but that's a huge myth. Your engine is designed to get hot. That heat burns off moisture and contaminants. Short trips prevent it from ever reaching that temperature. So what happens? Water builds up inside your engine, contaminates your oil, and creates that nasty, damaging sludge. The simple solution? Try to combine your errands into one longer drive whenever you can.
This is the classic tale of the tortoise and the hare, really. Aggressive driving, slamming the gas, constantly pushing the RPMs into the red, it puts an incredible amount of stress on every single part of your engine. But smooth, steady driving, that keeps the engine right in its comfort zone. It's all about being deliberate and easy on the pedals. Not only will you save on fuel, but you'll dramatically reduce the wear and tear that leads to an early engine death. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. That little thrill you get from flooring it at a stoplight, it has real long-term consequences. You have to start thinking about your engine's health in terms of decades, not seconds. That one shift in mindset will pay you back over and over again.
Okay, we've talked about how you drive. Now let's switch gears and talk about how you care for the car when you're not driving. This is all about changing your perspective from reacting to problems to proactively preventing them in the first place.
Mileage isn't the only thing that kills your engine's fluids. Time is a huge factor too. Oil, coolant, brake fluid, they all break down chemically just sitting there whether you drive the car or not. So if you've got a car that you don't use very often, you can't just ignore it for years. Following a time-based schedule is absolutely essential to stop internal corrosion and keep those fluids doing their job.
Let me be perfectly clear about this. An engine's cooling system is its life support. A single instance of overheating can warp metal, blow head gaskets, and cause catastrophic, permanent damage. If you see that temperature gauge climbing into the red, it is an absolute emergency. You pull over and you shut it down. Never, ever try to push through it.
And you don't need to be a mechanic to keep an eye on this. Just pop the hood once in a while. Take a look at your coolant level in the plastic reservoir. When you're stuck in traffic, listen to make sure your cooling fans kick on. And just glance at the radiator for any obvious damage. This basic check takes less than a minute and can save you thousands of dollars. Now, a clean engine isn't just for showing off. It's incredibly practical. A thick layer of greasy grime can actually act like an insulator, trapping heat. But more importantly, a clean engine bay makes it super obvious when a new leak starts. Spotting that tiny drip of oil or coolant early is the key to stopping a major failure before it happens.
This is really just the snowball effect in action. That tiny oil leak you've been putting off, that can lead to a low oil level and a seized engine. That little squeaky belt you hear every morning, that could snap, cause your engine to instantly overheat and leave you completely stranded. The fastest way to get a massive repair bill is to ignore the small warning signs.
And when you do have to make repairs, I know it's tempting to save a few bucks on a cheap, no-name part, but these are the critical components your engine relies on to live. Using poor quality parts is a huge gamble that almost never, ever pays off in the long run. So we've covered driving habits, and we've covered maintenance. The final piece of this puzzle is learning to be an attentive owner. Your car is constantly giving you feedback and information about its health. You just have to know how to listen. Modern engines are run by a whole network of sensors, so that check engine light isn't a suggestion, it's a direct message from the car's computer that something is wrong. Same goes for a sudden nosedive in your fuel economy, or if the engine starts idling rough. Ignoring these signs just means you're letting the engine run under bad conditions, which causes accelerated wear and can damage really expensive parts, like the catalytic converter.
This metaphor just captures it perfectly. You've got to think of your relationship with your car this way. It's not just a machine. It's a complex system that communicates through sounds, feelings, and even smells. The key is to learn what's normal for your car so you can immediately recognize when something isn't.
And what is that language it speaks? Well, has a new clunking sound started? Is there a new vibration in the steering wheel that wasn't there yesterday? Do you smell something sweet, like coolant, or something burning, like oil? These are the early warnings. This is your car's way of asking for help before a small issue turns into a really big one.
So, as we wrap this up, just remember this. Reaching 300,000 kilometers isn't about some secret formula or an expensive additive you pour in the tank. It is the cumulative result of all these simple, consistent actions: warming up the engine, driving smoothly, maintaining it on time, and just paying attention to the signals it's giving you.
Every time you drive, your engine is telling you its story. It's telling you if it's healthy, if it's stressed, or if it needs attention. The difference between an engine that dies early and one that lasts a lifetime is simply a driver who chooses to listen.